Hey folks, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and I am on the run, just like most people are these days. The spring break, as you guys have heard me say, is in full swing down here. And I just thought, while I'm sitting here moseying around in traffic, it might actually be a good time to do a live. We came out of the weekend, the circuit breakers went into effect on the stock market. Coronavirus cases seem to be at an all-time high in the United States, and I don't know why I've got this bright, maybe that'll help, cover. And I've been on the phone with all kinds of people, and I finally just finished up a call a minute ago with Paige, and I said, I think I've got it narrowed down. I said, there's an old saying that says everybody's got a price, meaning that sooner or later, if I pay you enough money, you'll do whatever I want. And I believe everybody has a fear tolerance. There is a time in a person's life where life can be good. We can preach all of the positiveness, all of attraction. We can do all of that, cool, I don't want to say mumbo jumbo, but it's at times like this, it really is a mumbo jumbo. People want to preach all day long about positive thinking. They want to preach all day long about don't ever think of a negative thought. And then when you're going into something where you've never been before, it reminds me of 9/11 and the way people tended to react at 9/11. You either had massive fear, or you literally had this paralyzation. And that's what I'm seeing right now is people that have massive fear, they're paralyzed, or like all these spring breakers down here, they're just going through life like it's no big deal. And I don't know that I'm all for the spring break stuff, because if this is as bad as some people say it is, I don't know that I need all of these, for a lack of a better term, foreigners coming to a small island where the population on a regular basis is around 10,000, and now we swell to 100, 150,000. Not sure I like that, but I realize it's not about letting yourself become fearful of everything that you're listening to. If you think I'm repeating myself, I am. I'm just giving some people time to get on, because I want y'all to think about this. Before all this hit, everyone who was listening to the media, and you were either saying, oh yeah, I believe everything the media is telling me, or you were saying, oh, I don't believe anything the media was telling me. You were either saying, oh, I believe in these politicians, or you were saying, I can't trust any politician. And this is typical. This is what we all do. And then all of a sudden, when something hits that we can't control, we don't understand it, all of a sudden we're listening to everybody, everyone on social media, every blog that's out there. This weekend I see this giant conspiracy theory that this is all tied to Epstein. This is all tied to, it's all the weirdest thing. And here's what happens, or here's what I believe, and y'all may disagree with me on this. I don't believe the human soul, the human spirit, whatever you want to look at, was created in a way to get the bombardment of all of this negativism that's flying. We're for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years, whatever the heck we've all been here, we've been able to deal with a little bit of normal, everyday, what's happening in my community. And this now has just escalated. As we went through the end of the 20th century, as we've gone through the first 3 decades of the 21st century, all of a sudden we are connected 24/7. There's people watching this live from across the globe, wondering what's going on. What if? That's the key here. And we get so focused, literally focused. Your eyeballs are so focused on this freaking little screen that we've got that you're not seeing what's outside the world. So you're not disconnecting at all. You've got all your notifications, you got all this stuff jamming down your throat, you got everyone saying, oh my gosh, Some of us put up a question, hey, do you know anybody that's got the coronavirus? No, 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 no. Then other people say, well, that must be a hoax. And then you see we got, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 cases of it. You know, people have died. Oh my gosh, it must be the worst thing under the sun. Here's the worst thing. We panic because we're humans. We got all freaky on it. You need to settle down and you need to figure out what is your fear tolerance. And whatever that fear tolerance is, you need to stop. And when you hit that fear when you feel the chaos inside of you, when you feel the angst inside of you getting so bad that your heart's pumping, turn off the TV. Walk outside for a little bit in your backyard. Go look at the sun. Do something besides freaking out. It's that plain and simple. Because you can't change any of this. It doesn't matter how positive you think, it isn't going to change. Now, I believe in prayer. I guess we could all pray and you know, something might happen. But at the end of the day, you can't change what's happening here. The short-term economic stuff that's happening or the long-term economic crap that's happening, whichever side of economics you lean on, you can't change that. If you're in the Forex and all of a sudden all the notifications went off and you lost money, you can't change that. If you're like me and you were in the crypto and it went down, you can't change that. What you can do is figure out what your fear tolerance is and don't go past that at all. Don't take yourself to such a point that you are freaking out. Because when you do that, you're not doing anybody any good. You're not doing your family any good. You're definitely not doing your health any good. Think about this for a second. If this is about the immune system, if this virus brings itself in, connects to your lungs, and you're freaking out on everything, you're going to have other issues going through this. If the economy just continues to tank, which it's a bouncing ball, it's a yo-yo, whatever the powers to be, whether it's a computer, whether it's a human, whether it's a combination of, doesn't matter. Whatever causes, whatever somebody says, let's pull the trigger and sell, then you sell. Let me tell you a secret. If you've not pulled your money out, if your money's still in crypto, if your money's still in the market, if your money's still in metals, and as long as you don't pull it out, then you haven't lost, okay? Everything will go back up. Will it go back up as high as it used to be? Stock market probably will. Usually when there's a correction and we go into a bear market, it never goes as low as the last low point. It flips around and it starts back up. We were in an 11-year bull market. There was time for a correction. That's what was supposed to happen. That's just part of life. When you look at the craziness of the virus that goes on, it is a virus, okay? You can't cure a virus. You can kill germs before they get too far in. That's why we see all this over-the-counter stuff for cold Z and all that stuff. Everything's got something, okay? Are people going to die? Probably, since we already see that they have, okay? The question isn't if. The question is, what are you going to do to protect yourself? And I don't mean that just from the virus. I mean from the anxiety attack that you're having. What good is that for your kids? Okay, you're going around, if you're a Christian, if you're a positive thinker, you know, if you're a Buddhist, if you're into Hindu, if you're into the law of attraction, I don't care what it is you're into. All of those, minus some certain characteristics like I believe in Jesus Christ, but outside of that, when you look at just the philosophy, you don't look at the theology, you just look at the philosophy of it. Every one of those say think positive, pray, meditate, everything's going to get better. And yet that's not what I'm seeing on Facebook, that's not what I'm seeing on these blogs, that's not what I'm seeing on the media. Okay, you can't one day believe everybody's telling you the truth on the media and then think they're lying to you, and then the next day think they're lying to you, and then everybody believes it. Okay, all that is just gives you freaking a mess. Okay, and you got to stop it, because a lot of what I'm seeing now is we get so focused into Facebook, we're not looking out around you. If I don't know if I can flip the phone around. I don't think I can on a live. If I could, I mean literally, thousands and thousands of college kids, families, just spring breaking it down here. Okay, is there a crisis? Yes, there's a crisis. There's an economic crisis right now. There is a healthcare crisis right now because there are people that obviously have the coronavirus, and they probably need to get some type of a I don't even know what you have. A remedy. I'll use that word. You got to have a remedy in it. So somewhere along the line, sure. But if it's not affecting you in a negative way, as in you can't breathe, you're spiking a fever, then what you need to do is say, okay, what can I do to protect myself? How about this? And hey, there's doctors on here. I saw Dr. Mike on, so some of you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know more about ammo than I do about viruses. But I believe in everything that I've read that these germs will connect to your lungs. So if you will take a drink about every 15 minutes and really chug some water, flush this crap into your stomach acids, then the germs won't survive in the stomach acids. Okay, they want to come into your lungs. That's where they're wanting to come into. So just start drinking a lot of water. Take your supplements. I see a lot of you networkers out there talking about essential oils, talking about supplements, talking about products you have. Not knocking that. I think that's all good. I don't think there's anything you can do that's not going to be good. Just make sure you're not making these claims about how it's going to cure the coronavirus, okay? There's heavy-duty fines right now. The FTC, FDA, nailing some companies and nailing individuals for doing these claims. Don't make claims. Just tell people you need to have your immunities high. You need to be eating your vegetables. You need to be doing what you're supposed to do. When we look at all this crap that's going on, and you look at some of the high numbers that are in Europe and in Asia, you guys need to understand Europe and Asia have a lot more smokers than the United States does. The United States has about a 13% smoking population. Most of the smoking population has to go outside. It's not like some countries where you just get to smoke. I remember you can sit in a courtroom and smoke. It doesn't work that way here. So we're a lot healthier than maybe the media lets on, maybe some of the politicians let on. A lot healthier. Okay, we have the brightest minds in the medical industry, and some of you guys that get into the political, witchcraft of whose potion you're going to drink, you guys need to understand there's a whole lot of stuff in the research and development phase in the civilian world as well as in the military world that you all don't know about. I don't know about it. It comes out as it's needed to come out. On Friday, we saw a press conference where the largest corporations that the Main Street America deals with, Walmart, Target, CVS, and Walgreens, say, look, we've got a plan. One of the things that we teach is risk mitigation. These guys had already, in their associations and everything else, had an idea of what was going to happen. They had an idea of how to handle it when it happened. I'm not talking about they knew about the coronavirus. Okay, don't start a new conspiracy. I'm saying they know that when there's a crisis like this, we know what to do. Every time that America has a crisis, we have learned from it. We're 400 and some odd years old. If you go all the way back to the beginning, a couple hundred years old since 1776, I'm pretty sure level heads will prevail. Take care of your community. Focus on your community. Make sure that you're supporting each other. Make sure that you're out there buying products from the local community. Don't be hoarding crap. What was that story I saw on Yahoo? Guy has like 13,000 bottles of hand disinfectant. Somebody needs to go and just beat him upside the head for being stupid. Okay, there's no reason for that. Okay, just go out there and do things right. Help your neighbor. Okay, this is about we the people. This is about a country that was focused on the average everyday person, helping the average everyday person, and we literally settled a nation and made it what it is today. So I don't have a problem with that. A week ago, people were griping about all this other stuff. I can guarantee you, if there is 100, 200 million people that have weapons in this country, they got 350 million rounds of ammo, We're not going to have some crazy time happen in the United States, okay? Everybody just needs to settle down, take a breather, and focus, and get back to asking yourself one simple freaking question. What is my fear tolerance? And when you hit that fear tolerance, turn off the TV, turn off your social media, don't answer your text, don't be in your chat app, don't be over on TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, or anything else. Just breathe. Take that detachment, just break apart from all of the crap and get back to normal. Read a book, for crying out loud. Do something that takes your mind out of it. If you guys would focus on building your businesses and growing your ministries and taking care of your education the way you fearmonger about all this crap, everybody would be so much better. Okay, your businesses would grow, you'd have money in the bank, your family would be healthier. Instead, you're giving yourself freaking heart attacks, anxiety attacks. We're going to come out of here and probably the heart issue rate's going to go up. High blood pressure is going to go up. And everybody's going to blame it on the coronavirus when really it's the fact that everybody has this fear tolerance. They want to preach, positive, and then they hit the fear tolerance. So I'm not going to beat this up anymore. It's just the more I thought about it, the more I just walked out of Best Buy and was just shaking my head. Here I am on an island, spring breakers everywhere, and I tell you what, there might have been more bottles of hand sanitizer on the shelves of Best Buy than there was ammo. And it's like, what the heck? And it all comes down to the fear tolerance. You need to figure out what your fear tolerance is. You need to detach from social media. You need to detach from the conversation that you can't control. Take a time or two a day if you want to. Watch your favorite news. If you're watching liberal news, watch it. If you're watching conservative news, watch it. And then go outside in your backyard or your front yard, take a deep breath, look up and realize I'm a pretty blessed individual. I'm alive. My family's doing good. My neighbors are doing good. Wave at your neighbors. Maybe this is the time you get to know your neighbors a little bit. Stop being so inward focused. Stop being so focused on your friends on the internet. And just go out there and take care of yourself, guys. Like I said, drink lots of water. Eat some good food. Take your supplements. Use precaution. But don't scare yourself to death. Because that's what I'm seeing happening right now. Is people are getting so freaking angst over this stuff. And there's no reason to whatsoever. I don't care if tomorrow they say the planes are going to stop flying. I don't care if the day after that they say, look, you need to not be anywhere and be in meetings over 50 people. I don't care if the day after that they say, look, we want y'all to stay in your communities and not be going out. I don't care if the day after that they tell you for 2 weeks you got to stay in your house. Whatever they say, just do it and relax. Maybe it's time we really do take that time to reset America. Get back to the basics and say it isn't about working 50 hours a week. Okay, it isn't about the hustle. It's about actually being able to enjoy what might be known as the American dream. Like hanging with your family, having some money in the bank, going on a vacation every now and then, sitting on the front porch talking to your wife. I mean, when you think back, we all talk about the nostalgic time in America. Well, maybe it's time we get back to the basics. Maybe it's time we just take a little walk with the dog. Maybe it's time we just sit back and say, you know what? It could be worse. We could be living in the Mideast in the middle of the desert. We could be in Iran. We could be in the Sudan. I mean, there's so many other places you could be, and we're in America, where we can help each other out, where we get a say in what's going on. And honestly, even though I get pissed at the government boys all the time, I honestly don't think they're out to kill us. Okay, they just happen to see the world maybe sometimes a little different than we do. Okay, everybody loves the way that America is, and nobody wants it to change, as in the freedoms in the Constitution. So just sit back and relax. Find your fear tolerance and don't go past it. And when you start angst, just disconnect. Hey, we'll see y'all later. Sorry, just a rant. I'm just tired of all this fear crap. That's all. Hey, we'll see y'all later.